Hey guys, it's Captain Forrest here, and I'm excited to drop this awesome cross-verse matchup. Today, I'll be going over who I think wins more often than not in an equal stats battle. Chun-Li from Street Fighter versus Captain Marvel from Marvel 616. Now, before I start this video, I'd like to say a huge shout out to the Coffee Shop Gang. They make awesome content, make sure you check them out, links will be in the description. Also, shouts to HQ Squad, they're my team, they help me out with my videos, they give me suggestions and help me with my scripts, so massive shout outs to them too. And also, if you guys are new to my channel, please leave a like, comment down below if you like what you see, please subscribe for further content. Now, one last thing, Chun-Li, I'll be using game and comic feats, so it's a bit of a composite going on, so I'll be including both those showings of course. And of course with Captain Marvel, it's going to be 616 comics. So yeah, let's get right into meat and potatoes of things. I'm going to start off with Chun-Li's powers, abilities, skills, and etc. So Chun-Li has chi manipulation. She has her own chi techniques and attacks, such as the Korin, which is a small blue ball of chi which she can fire at her opponents. Chun-Li can also perform the Kikosho, which is a giant blue ball of chi which she can fire off, and it can cause a giant area of effect. Chi in Street Fighter is physical, spiritual, and mental in nature. It's even been stated by Seth during the Bleak project that the machine absorbs spiritual energy and ki from the host's body. Chun-Li herself was taught a really impressive ability by Gen called the Killing Intent. This deadly technique targets and destroys the soul. Chun-Li also has enhanced ki sensory and spiritual awareness. Chun-Li is able to deduce a victim was drained of his life force by using her chi, which is very impressive. Now let's move on and talk about Chun-Li's skill. Chun-Li is very skilled in her own right. She knows Kempo, Tai Chi, and Kung Fu. She was trained in these arts at the age of 5 years old with her father and Gen as her mentors. She's battled many other opponents who are skilled in other forms of fighting styles and martial arts, and she's also beaten them or have come relative to them in skill. Even Ken himself is intimidated by Chun-Li's fighting style and abilities, and this same Ken has gone toe to toe with Ryu. Ryu himself has decades of experience and skill with his Shotokan style karate martial arts. Ryu himself has fought and defeated Akuma, who transcends all forms of martial arts, and Chun-Li has shown to be very skilled and also being able to rival others who also taught Chun-Li is the same person who is the master of the murderous martial art of the Morning style and the Killing Intent, which Chun-Li learned from Gen. And this very same Gen even tested Ryu to see how strong he had become and to find out if he has the skills whether to take Gen down in a fight. And actually it's pretty demonstrated that Gen was more skilled than Ryu. In fact, Ryu was a little bit overconfident against Gen, and Gen showed him why he was not to be taken lightly. Gen even states in their sparring fight that if this fight was for real, he would have destroyed Ryu in skill and would have actually killed him as well. Chun-Li has also learnt the very fundamentals and concepts of Kung Fu, embracing the paradox of duality in oneself and the universe around them. So some spiritual and some really impressive, like profound skill level scaling for Chun-Li. Chun-Li has also shown that she's able to detect weaknesses in her opponents. She was also able to outskill Ryu, Shin Ryu by the way, and literally bullied him and was able to beat his butt in a fight and use his own momentum against him. This is very impressive because, as mentioned before, this same Ryu completely dog walked Akuma, and as mentioned, Akuma transcends all forms of martial arts, so Chun-Li would also scale to this too. And Chun-Li herself has demonstrated that she has pressure point techniques and she's able to detect weaknesses in objects and her opponents too. That's going to round up Chun-Li. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Captain Marvel, aka Carol Danvers herself. So one of Carol's main bread and butter abilities is her energy absorption and slash her energy nullification. So Captain Marvel's well-known ability is to absorb anything energy based in nature, which amps her powers, but obviously equals stats, so that will not be happening. When she absorbs enough energy, she can enter into a binary state. It's actually been demonstrated in her binary form that she's able to activate it without even needing to absorb energy firsthand, but it does increase her stats when she absorbs energy. Carol also has demonstrated that she's able to absorb reality warping energy from the reality stone. Carol can also absorb the energy from the Phoenix Force, and even during her fight with Thor, she's absorbed lightning too from Thor's attacks from Mjolnir, which is impressive. Carol can also absorb the kinetic energy from physical attacks, so when she takes physical damage, she's able to absorb some of the energy from it too when she gets hit. So overall, she can absorb many types of energies, subatomic particles and radiation, which is impressive. So moving on to some impressive noteworthy statements and abilities for her binary form. So Carol essentially has a near limitless supply of energy while she's in her binary form. Carol in her binary form is able to absorb all energy around her, and she was able to draw energy around the world for her to absorb. And that's going to round up her absorption stuff. I'm going to go ahead and move on to her other abilities. So she's able to use her main bread and butter techniques. She's able to fire photon blasts, which she can channel into her fists or shoot them out of her hands and her eyes too, which is impressive. It's also been shown that her photon blasts vaporize you on atomic to subatomic level. Carol has also demonstrated in her binary form she can also transmutate people with her energy blasts too. She can also concentrate and target a pinpoint blast of photon energy at her opponent, and as mentioned before, she has heat vision with it too. Carol has instinctive reaction and precognition. It's noted that Carol's precognition and cosmic awareness is better than Mar-Vell's. Both have the same powers, and Mar-Vell has demonstrated this as it's a near impossibility to ambush him, and it greatly increases his fighting skill, and with it he could see Thor's attack through 17,000 dimensional perception streams, and Carol's cosmic awareness is potent enough to sense changes occurring within the outside, which is basically this high altiversal it's like a high altiversal distance, which is really impressive. So she's got some really good cosmic awareness. Carol was able to precog a goon who was going to shoot her from behind, and she's also been able to precog a room going to explode, and it allowed her to basically stay steps ahead. And Carol fights like a Kree warrior, fights instinctively, as her style of fighting is to demolish her opponents before they can do anything. Now she has a bit of skill, so she can perform judo, she's proficient in judo, and she's also able to perform pressure point strikes. That's going to round up pretty much skill. I'm going to talk a little bit about her resistances. So a very impressive resistance feat for Captain Marvel. She was able to resist the penance stare, which uses your sins against you, which turns your mind, body and soul to ash. And she's demonstrated some soul resistance too. She's tanked hellfire, which completely burns your soul. That's going to round up Carol and both combatants. I'm going to go ahead and talk about who would win more often than not in an equal stats situation. So this fight's pretty interesting. Now Carol does have her energy absorption. You could make arguments that she would be able to absorb Chun-Li's chi. Now yes, it affects you on all three levels, but Carol has demonstrated to resist that. And you could even argue that Carol could just absorb it too, because it is energy. Like chi is a natural source of energy just on those different levels, and she's demonstrated that. So you could even make arguments that she'd be able to absorb Chun-Li's chi if Chun-Li tried to perform like a Kikoken or Kikosho. Carol could definitely, in character, she starts off with photon blasts, so she'd probably start shooting them. Now Chun-Li herself also has doubt with characters who have instinctive reaction and precognition. Ryu himself has like really good level of awareness, like cosmic awareness in his own way. Like he had the power of nothingness with the Shin Ryu. This same Chun-Li fights Shin Ryu with the power, who has the duality of the power of nothingness and the Satsui no Hado. The power of nothingness is basically like ultra instinct, so it's like a sense of oneness. It's a heightened sense. It's a lot higher than just normal awareness, normal instinctive and precognition. So I definitely think Chun-Li would be able to rival Captain Marvel in that degree when it comes to like battle senses. So I really don't think there's going to be a massive like advantage in that situation. But I think when it comes down to skill, like Chun-Li is just vastly above Captain Marvel in skill. Way too skilled for Captain Marvel. I think if Captain Marvel tried to scrap, I think like Chun-Li would just have the skill edge. Plus in character, Captain Marvel doesn't start off with skill. She typically relies on her brute strength as well as her photon energy attacks. Chun-Li can counter those with her own spiritual attacks too. That would also be an advantage for her too. Captain Marvel could also absorb the chi strikes, because of course she can absorb attacks like from friction, so she'd be able to absorb those too. However, if Chun-Li starts using pressure points, I think this is where things become very problematic for Captain Marvel. Granted, yes, she has the energy absorption, she could absorb the energy from the strike, but at the end of the day, she still takes damage when she absorbs attacks. So if Captain Marvel gets tagged in weak spots, especially with Chun-Li's info analysis, she's able to deduce and use her skill to see weaknesses in her opponent. And because Chun-Li will have the massive skill edge, she'd just be able to get around and finesse Captain Marvel, target pressure points, and it's just going to subdue Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel hasn't demonstrated any resistances against pressure points. So granted, yes, Captain Marvel will absorb some of the chi, but her pressure points are going to get clicked, and she's going to be immobilized and just left there, and Chun-Li would just pretty much just do away with Captain Marvel. So in my opinion, and from what I've seen, and overall what both combatants have, this fight is very close, but I have to lean more so to Chun-Li. Her skill is just way too much. She's vastly above Captain Marvel in skill. She has the massive skill edge. She has ways to counter the photon blast. She can get around the energy absorption by using pressure points and just in using her raw skill and her teachings and experience to get around Captain Marvel. So I think that's going to be a big like advantage for Chun-Li. I just don't really see much what Captain Marvel could do. Yes, she could probably perform photon energy blasts, try and fly in and punch, or she could use Spectrum, I guess, but again, that's not going to really help because Chun-Li would be able to fight that too and just outskill the Spectrum clone as well. So I just have to lean more so to Chun-Li. But yes, thank you guys for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been real.